Well, the problem with human food is that we often give it in a quantity that isn't controlled. A lot of human foods are absolutely fine for dogs and cats to eat in very small portions. What we have to think about is when we eat something, it could be 5 or 6 times the amount of calories for that dog. So for example, if I have a piece of toast and we give that dog a piece of toast, it would be, so a 5 kilo dog, for example, would be the equivalent of me eating 10 slices of toast. People often don't think in those kind of terms. So the main problem with human food is that it can lead to obesity, not because the food is wrong, but because of the amounts that the owners are giving their dog or their cat. There are certainly some human foods that you want to stay away from, mainly because they can be toxic to animals. So the most important ones would be chocolate and grapes, and with that raisins, onions, garlic, that kind of thing. Is if you've got leftovers, don't be tempted to give them to your dog because they will contain some of those, most foods will contain some of those foods. The other reason that you might not want to give them the human food is that they also then become used to human food, and then when you go back to giving them dog food or cat food, they won't want to take it. My view is that you should always keep something like chicken or fish or something really tasty that an animal would normally snap your hand off for when they're ill or when you need them to eat something. So by giving it every day, you then have nowhere to go when you need to give them something special to try and get their appetite back and to try and get them eating. So I would not advise giving the human food all the time, but I completely understand that people do it, and I think that's absolutely fine. So some dogs are on specific gluten-free or wheat-free diets, and so if you're giving them human food, you also have to think about what's in that food you're giving them, because if it's bread or something packed full of wheat, a cereal, then it could then cause an allergy, and most of these allergies in dogs are going to be gastrointestinal intolerances. So you could then make your dog sick or have diarrhea through giving them the wrong food. Might be something you don't even know about, and then you give them the human food, and that's the first sign that you then understand that they have an intolerance to that. The other problem that you have with some of the human foods, especially around barbecue time in the summer, is that people will have kebabs or chicken legs, corn on the cobs. These kind of things are often just left on plates or in bags afterwards, or people will just then hand them down to the dog, because the dog is always at a social event like a barbecue. If they are going to be eating off of a chicken leg, then there is that potential that they have access to that cooked bone. Cooked bones are really, really dangerous in all animals. They can splinter, they can cause blockages, they can cause stomach ulceration, lacerations, and make your dog really, really sick. The other common one is the corn on the cob. It's not easily broken up, but they will like to chew on it. Some dogs won't chew it and spit it out. They will then swallow it, and it will cause an obstruction. Again, that's going to be a vet job to remove that, and quite uncomfortable for your dog as well.